Hello and merry meet. It is time for Tuesday Tarot. All right, just sent a couple invites. I know it does something funky when I pause to share. So I've been trying to share before, but I did forget today. So it is Tuesday Tarot. So how Tuesday Tarot works is that for 78 weeks, we are going over each card in the tarot decks. We're starting with the major arcana, then we'll go into the minor arcana. So tonight we are on card 11, which is the Justice card. So for about 30 minutes to 60 minutes, we'll be talking about the Justice card, and then we're going to do one card pulls. So that means you can ask any question that you want, or you can type general in the chat. This is not an open panel. I know I've been asked before. This one is not an open panel. I do try to keep it to just Bren, Azrael, and myself so that we keep consistency. I know I've had a couple people who are like, but I have a really cool Justice card that I want to show. We have open panel is on Thursday and Sunday, so you can feel free to join then. If you would like to do that, or you can share the name of the deck that you're using, and there is a possibility that Bren or I or even Azrael may actually have the deck and can actually pull the card. So I'm a little slow today, so I do apologize for that, because I'm usually pretty fast and get going, but yeah, I'm still pulling cards. I have 2 Justice cards left to pull. So yes, but this is a spiritual safe place. Please feel free to leave comments, any comments that you would like, except for I do not want bullying in the chat and forcing your beliefs on someone else. So you can share your opinion. Opinions are always welcome. It's just we're not going to tell somebody that they can't go to a certain place if they don't follow your religious beliefs. So that is the hard part about spiritual talk, because I do know we do get very passionate because spirituality is very close to our heart. So we will try to give you a warning. I only had to mute one person one time without a warning because they kept going and going. But I will try to give you a warning if that is the situation that comes up. Oops, sorry. And here comes Bren. Hey, Bren.
Was somebody behaving in the chat? Misbehaving?
Oh, not today yet. No, I was
just giving... good.
Yes, I was just giving off the rules. I have one more card to pull. I was a little slow today. I got a little sidetracked. Okay, a lot sidetracked. So I've been quilting, and I'm like, oh, I can do a little bit more, and then a little bit more turned into, oh no, it's time to pull my and go live.
You get so into it that it's just like, where has the time gone?
Yep, exactly. And you know, it's hard. It's like, you know, it's when you're doing something and you're on a roll, but it's all good. We're here to talk about the Justice card tonight. So I'm just pulling mine. I don't know. I know you're either prepared or you're like me today where you're partially prepared.
Well, I'm today partially prepared. I just need to grab the one from, I believe, but only just this one deck in my hand.
There we go. I got mine. So I'll start, and that will give you time to find yours. So I want to welcome everybody. This is Tuesday Tarot. So we're going to start with our review, with learning a little bit about the Justice card. Again, it's a very, very high overview. And when we're done with that, we are literally going to do one card readings. So please stick around. We will take readings in order in which people ask. We may have your name down, and we may have to say, can you repeat your question? But so be thinking of a question. We do also do generals, so you can type general. So tonight we are talking about the Justice card. So I'm going to hold up the Rider-Waite real quick just so that you kind of get an idea which one we're talking about. I guess I should flip this. Wait, mirror. There we go. So we're talking about the Justice card tonight. So the Justice card means equality, justice, of course, legality, integrity, conclusion, balance, harmony, good karma. Those are just a couple of the key words associated with the Justice card. All right, the Justice card, surprise, surprise, is associated with the astrological sign Libra, because the Justice card has scales. Oops, there we go. And that is actually the symbol for Libra. So those of you that are Libra, which will be next after Virgo. Right now we're in Virgo time.
Like moi.
Yes, which makes sense that Bren is a Libra for those that don't know. So it is also an air sign. So the card is associated with air, well, so is Libra. And it is associated with our third eye chakra. We will at the very end, Bren and I will talk about how we can use the Justice card in spell casting. So now we're just going to share some cards and some of our insight into different decks. And there are, I'm going to go with thousands of decks because I think I own pretty close to 100 decks myself. Okay, so the first deck that I'm going to show, and I show this every week, is the Visconti Tarot. And I'm just going to give a quick little high overview of the Visconti Tarot. So the Visconti Tarot deck is actually one of the first Italian decks that was done. They were all done by hand. So there would probably be some slight differences because, when you're doing things by hand before the printing press, there are going to definitely be slight differences. There is an original deck, and I cannot remember which museum. In a museum, almost all the cards were there. There were some cards that were missing, or some cards were severely damaged. So this is a reproduction of the Visconti deck. Now the Visconti deck was around the 16th, 17th century. Then you have the Marcel's deck, which was actually the first deck printed on a printing press. And that came out of Marcel's, France. So what is interesting about this? Now the Marcel's deck does have card number 11 as the Justice card. So the Justice card in this deck is actually not card 11. It's actually card 8. I did hold it up when we were doing card 8. And here's the courage, the strength card, which is actually, so the courage and the strength card switched places from 8 and 11. They switched. So, but we really want to look at the cards. So that's one difference in this deck. And I know I've seen people before because I have like a tarot t-shirt that I wear, and it's not an accurate tarot t-shirt. Somebody did it as a cartoon, but it does have the Lover's card and it's not the right number for the Lover's card. But what happens is some of these decks actually are a little bit different. One of the original decks that came out of Italy actually has charity, love, and faith as 3 additional cards. There's another deck that has the 4 elements in the major arcana. So, but we're going to pull the strength card. So, not the strength card, I'm sorry. So the Justice card, so that we can have a peek at that. So what's really neat is we have a knight in the back, and keep in mind the knight's really protected and were the closest thing to, I guess you could say, police back in ancient times, right? But there we got Lady Justice. She has a sword in one hand and she has the scales in the other hand. And her dress is actually very fancy if we look at that. She has a blue cape on, and we have that gold foil in the back. So then we come up to 1906, I almost said 9, where Pamela Coleman Smith did the artwork and Arthur Rider-Waite did the cards, and we have the Justice card. So now we have, and one consistency in all of the Rider-Waite decks is that the pillars, we have pillars in a lot of the major arcanas. So we've got this pillar with this beautiful tapestry behind it. And we have the sword upright and the scales. And this one, I mean, that could be a male or a female. Keep in mind, back in those days, everybody kind of wore their hair very similar. So it was really hard to tell, and does it really matter, right? But, this person is a judge from the time period. So we do have like prim and very, very prim and proper. This one is prim and proper, but I mean, you can see like a huge, huge difference in how the sword is being held. Let's see if I can, or wait, I'm sorry. I think I have to say utensil. There we go. One is just kind of being held, and one is like, make sure it's like right straight up. So that's the Rider-Waite deck. So most decks today, okay, are loosely based off Rider-Waite. Not all decks. Some decks, you're not going to see any resemblance from the Visconti, the Marsalles, or the Rider-Waite. So some decks you're going to be like, oh, that's not even remotely close. And we will see that, I'm sure. All right, so here we go. This is the Druid Craft Tarot deck. And we have a woman. I love how there's an owl there. And the scale of justice is a little bit different. That's the scale of justice. And she's holding the utensil up. She's got that vibrant purple cape with the blue dress, but the owl, that is what's so important, because owls are wisdom and knowledge. So we know that the owl is going to help her with her judgment, help her decipher and use her intuitive abilities to determine the judgment. So that's the Druid Craft Tarot. Okay, this next deck I absolutely love. I've shown this every week. It's Tarot of the Sacred Kingdom. This one is really neat. We actually have like a warrior or a knight, and has 2 utensils out, and he is walking up steps. And here's the cool thing about this figure, because the figure is almost like a statue with like the divine light of wisdom and knowledge coming out of, that's right, the third eye and the crown chakra. We do have the pillars making an arch. So we do know that this is a building of justice. And so keep in mind, a lot of the old buildings, and even modern day courthouses, we have the pillars typically, and we'll see a lot of the archwork in the architecture. But we have we have this smoke, and that smoke, there you are, there is that element of air. So here is the knowledge. And so we have this warrior with his utensils, and he's facing his judgment. What is really cool about this card is, even though this is like the Justice card, it's like facing like, am I supposed to, like, is this warrior the one who's supposed to go and do something for judgment, for justice, or is he facing his justice? It really kind of gives you that, think about it, like what's really going on. Okay, so the Witch's Tarot, this one's kind of fun. We have a woman in a red dress with this green cape, and we have the royal color purple hanging from the pillars behind. So instead of the pillars being on either side of her, they are behind her, and we actually have flower pots. We have a lot of balance in this. The utensils being held up properly, or the ward, however we want to say it. And she is holding the scales of justice. All righty. This one is so cool. All right. This is the Nightfall Tarot. And we have Lady Justice here, and we have what looks like wood pillars. She is at the top of the steps, part of her leg is showing, but she's dressed more like Lady Liberty, like our Statue of Liberty. And again, she's got that utensil. She has got the scales of justice. And if you look at her head, she has this crown. And the crown is very similar. This one reminds me of like if the Statue of Liberty were to go downstairs, like if she, so this one is different. She's looking for justice. She's seeking the justice out. And we do see the clouds and we see swirls in the background. So we see that element of air and we see that it's a motion card. So some of these, well, actually really, these two are very, very motion, has a lot of motion. This has a little bit of motion in it. The other ones are very stoic. Okay, and then my favorite deck, the last deck I'm sharing tonight, is the Shadowscape Tarot. And this one has a lot of motion. Sorry. And we see the wings of justice. We do see there is a feather in one hand. So this one is different because instead of the utensil, there is a feather. We see the wing, we see the scales of justice, but we also see a lot of butterflies around it. So butterflies are sacred and spiritual in nature, and usually it can be an ancestor that's joining us. So that is the Starscape. And I love this because she's balancing, again, the scales of justice is balance. She's balancing on a tree branch, and you can see the wind swirling around her. And so that is the Justice card from Shadowscape Tarot deck. Welcome, Azriel. I don't know if you want to like pop in real quick before we let Bren go.
Oh, hello everyone. I'm exhausted, but here I am. Great to see everyone. Happy Tuesday.
Yes.
It didn't even dawn to me that it was Tuesday. And so I seen an invitation, and also like, oh, that's right, it's Tuesday. So we're discussing the Justice card.
Yes, Justice card tonight.
Alrighty. So welcome in, Brand. Go ahead. It's your turn.
Yep. All right. Go for it, Bren. Take over. If you're still there.
Forgot because this thing won't ever turn on when I press it. Bloody thing. It's fired this morning. Anyway, so the Justice card. Now, depending again on the depiction, you can see, of course, a figure that is neutral. But with the Rider-Waite-Smith, if you noticed, she's actually mimicking the exact same thing as the Magician in her hand posture. The sword pointing up as above, and holding the scales so below. Yeah. So she's copying that concept as well. The law of what goes up must come down. It's like equitable exchange. Yep, the exact same. It may not be exactly as exaggerant, but it's still the same. And they even have the same robe too. And the Justice card, funny enough, when you look at the High Priestess with the Justice card, the two pillars, the tapestry behind, yep, look at the tapestry. See? One pillar is now it's the same. Mm-hmm. Balanced, instead of just like one black and one white.
White, yep.
So would that Justice card define karma?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it's also primarily it's a card that shows whatever gets, like if you're outputting something, you'll give what is justly deserved back. It's of the cards, the Justice card is a card that is neutral, very neutral. Mm-hmm. But when it's reversed, if you do reversals, that shows injustice, like somebody being cheated, not giving what is fair, or they're being a part of something that causes scamming or some form of that. The first one I'm going to show is from my Seduction of Shadows Tarot, and it is what I call Castellation, and this is how I depicted it. And if you're probably wondering, okay, so how is this having anything to do with justice? Well, look at it this way. You have over here, if I can get it right here. Okay, right there. If you notice right here, hopefully you'll be able to see it. She has one arm going up, and she has another arm going down. She's trying to balance herself because she's also wounded. If you notice down here, she's wounded. So she's trying to get her balance and trying to, at the same time, really become more grounded within herself. So this one is more about a justice that is more soothing of the self and to get one's footing despite after being harmed. So this one's more of a justice that is meant for healing. And for that one, this is the one from the Archeon Tarot, and this is how it's depicted. And let me flip myself. Flip, you bloody thing. Thank you.
And it is weird when we flip it too, because you're used to like how you like I hold my head a certain way, but it's all good.
If this depiction has the Titaness Themis, and now Themis, as a Titaness, she was known as the Titaness of like divine strict law, and Themis is probably just as, if not more, strict as Nemesis. But Nemesis is it's a law that is just like, okay, everything's now equal. While Themis is more like what does the book say? And this is how it's depicted in the Ludi the Scott Tarot. So now this one, you're probably thinking, okay, how's this just? Well, when you're looking at it, she's in an environment, probably she got away from somebody who was mistreating her. And if you also notice in the background, oh, we got two wolfies back there. That's not good. But she's not really aware of the environment she is. And at the bottom, is that a snake under my boot? So this Justice card is really taking a look at, are you able to balance your thoughts and be balanced in the environment you're in? Because judging at where you stand right now, you in deep doo-doo. You in danger, woman. Get out of there. The next one is going to be from the traditional manga tarot. This one's somewhat of a general justice card. And this is how it's depicted in this deck. Very, very simple. Kind of really Rider-Waite Smith. And in this one, of course, she has the blank neutral stare, which for a justice card, that usually is the most ideal to not be biased. Now, the next one is going to be from the Definitely Not Haunted Mansion Tarot. It's the Head Maid. And there's the scales. And if you also notice her face, she's just like, is everything going on in here that needs to be going on here? So this one is more like a justice of the profession. Justice in the workplace. Now, let's see. I'm going to save that one for last because that one's heavy. The next one is going to be from the Incubus Tarot, and it's depicted like this. This Justice card is standing, and it looks like she's weighing something on the scale and weighing somebody's skull. So this is kind of a justice that's showing that justice will come. It don't matter. You got to face what you need to face. Very point blank. Next will be, let's go with the Definitely Not Walking Dead Tarot. And this is how it's depicted here. Justice, the statue above. Then you have the undead at the bottom. This kind of shows that, well, because of humanity's stupidity, now they get to come back and now they have to face the reality of their stupidity for unleashing the virus. So now you got to face it. The next one is going to be from Tarot V. Now this one takes it a different direction. The Justice card in this deck is depicted this way. Well, Justice has gone faceplant. And now the vampire is rising up from it. So this could kind of show, well, if there's a situation where the just legal system or what's needing to be justice isn't happening, you take control of it. You rise up and you make it work. and you collapse it for being corrupt, or for collapse it for not doing what it needs to do. So that one's more of the fall of an injustice, or even a justice system that's not doing what it needs to do. Next one is from Tarot de la Lutte, Tarot of the Night, and here's how it's depicted. Lovely lady. Yep, lovely lady in red. She has the blade, she has the scales, she has violet hair. She looks like she's ready to poke you and say, "You've been bad, go in time out." That's the sentence.
Question, since curiosity kicks in.
Yes.
So, due to the fact that the Justice card, the great majority of them are holding the scale, does that represent the Aries? Or Libra, I mean,
Yeah, Libra, yes.
Yep.
Yep. See, okay, we have.
Yeah, Aries is far from being justice, and I can
you
see
know,
that because I am
well,
one.
my mind knew exactly what I wanted to say, but my
Yeah, I
mouth
know.
says no.
Okay, so now, this is the last one. This is from, I can't say it because TikTok will hissy fit. It's from this tarot. And now, this Justice card, I tell you.
I just got to interrupt for a second. It's really upsetting that you can't, but it's okay. Carry on. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay, TikTok. I mean, I get it. You can't be happy all the time either. Woo. Anyway.
Yeah.
So now, this Justice card is nothing like the rest of them. This Justice card, if I'm doing a reading, if this Justice card pops up, it is a bad sign. Here's the Justice card.
Oh, yeah.
That is sad.
It is sad.
Because now this is showing definitely bigotry and having to be separated from a loved one. And being separated and trying to reach back out and try to reconnect is being held back because of whatever circumstances. So yeah, it could be like from law, it could be from like just because somebody in the family's like, well, I can't accept that. Well, that's cute. We didn't ask you. But so to get more specific with Justice card. Now the Justice card is associated with, of course, Venus, of course, Libra. It can be associated with Saturn. It's also you can even also say it is associated with specifically the constellation in the middle of Libra called Swati, which is symbolized by a blade that's being used in the wind. It cuts, but then it also is able to adapt. There is, and you can also say with the Justice card, it's also associated with deities such as Themis, Nemesis, Mot, any of the underworld, Hades, Hell even. And when using it in a magical... Oh yeah, definitely Nemesis too. And when using the Justice card in Magic now, of course, you make a copy of it and you just flip it over, write your petition on the back of it, then voila, and that's your petition paper. But when using the Justice card, again, depending on the depiction, you can have the Justice card, like for an example. If you want to have somebody be separated from someone, there you go. If you're having somebody being a two-timer and a home wrecker, there you go. Put them behind bars, be like, nope, you ain't getting mine now, you're stuck.
Asriel's like, ooh, I know somebody. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I envision it a little deeper, and because we delve into, the art. Let's just call it the art, and I can depict that Justice card as being a place of worship and casting something in the place of worship where you actually the intention becomes that final picture there. As soon as somebody steps into this place of worship, that initial individual is separated. It's deep, but I can envision that. So
Yeah, and I know I've used it before. So, like if you go through a divorce or I do spells for people when they ask, and I've had people who have come who've had horrific traumas, and you can use the justice. And I will literally look and see which card from my multiple decks will coordinate best for the situation. Because like Bren was saying, I mean, he's got that great card where they're separated. So yeah, you want to make sure there's like lots of things you can do with that one. So, and just remember, your magic is limited to your creativity. So when you look at it, what makes it creative? Like I was sitting there because I grabbed my Alice in Wonderland deck. So I did pull the Justice card there, and we have the King of Hearts, and there is no scale, but you see he's dropping the cards. Well, who when we look at the Queen of Hearts and the King of Hearts, who would you rather go in front of? Right? You would rather go in front of the King. Yeah.
Off with their head. Off with his head. Off with his head by order of the Queen.
Yes. So, I mean, you would rather go in front of him because he is more just and he will listen to both sides. Where the Queen of Hearts, if you've offended her, she doesn't like you. She's just gonna you're going to get no justice. There's no balance. Thus, she is not the Justice card. She would be a very odd Justice card. So yeah, when you're picking your card for the magic, look, what is the symbolism in the card? How are they all different? Like when we're looking at this card is so great. What I love about this is Justice has wings, and we have the butterflies all over in here. Well, what are butterflies? Butterflies are transformation. And this literally, like Bren had brought up a card, I am getting over a trauma and I'm learning how to balance my life again. So this would be a really great card for when you are trying to heal yourself and spread your wings and fly.
Beautiful analogy on it. I wanted to share something because yesterday, we talk about the caterpillars to becoming a butterfly in the transition. And yesterday I was watching the wild weeds, because they're letting them grow in Illinois, due to the pollution and stuff like that. So what they do, they suck in the CO2. I was observing two butterflies. I said, you know what, of this great span of land, why is there two butterflies just together? You know what I'm saying? They were dancing around, and then I started to think about it. They got these wings and they're just like roaming around and wee. And imagine, in their caterpillar stage, they're real slow, so like sluggish. Boo, 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 boo. And then, as they transform, they're free to fly and they're fast. That's us in this physical body. Once, in this physical body, many of us can find ourselves, life kind of sucks. Everything is going slow. But once we tune ourselves to that higher version of ourselves and transform and become the higher essence of what we can possibly be, knowing that the skies are the limits, that's how we transform, and we become like those butterflies that are everywhere versus walking slow on a slow pace.
That's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's a beautiful analogy, and thank you, Azrael, because that is true. It's more than just being a caterpillar and going in the chrysalis to go through your change. So that's beautiful. Bren, did you want to add anything else about the Justice card?
Not really more that I could really think of, other than just everything that was said, to be honest.
Yeah. So that's our overview of the Justice card. So next week actually 13, is the Hanged Man. So we're going to have fun with that card. So that will be next week. So we always start Tuesday Tarot out with learning a little bit about a tarot card. And again, it's a really high overview. Both Bren and I do teach tarot classes. So please feel free, if you want to take classes, if we resonate with either of you, please feel free to reach out to us about tarot classes. So we'll do the Hanged Man next week. And now we're at the fun part. So now we get to do readings for you. So again, this is closed panel. How the readings work is we do 1-card readings, and you get readings from, the reading is from all of us. And sometimes we do have to pull another card to get some clarification for you. Happens a lot, actually. But we will get that for you. So if you would love a reading tonight, you can type your questions. You can type a specific question in, or you can type general, and we will pull cards for you. I know I've got an oracle deck, I've got Lenormand, and I also have a couple tarot decks. For some reason, I was really drawn to pull my Alice in Wonderland decks out. So please feel free. All right, Vicki would like a general. Ooh, which one am I supposed to do for you? You know what? I'm supposed to actually do the deck I have in my hand. You're getting a Lenormand from me. Your card flew out. So from my Alice in Wonderland Lenormand deck, I got the stork for you. And this stork doesn't mean that there's a baby coming, but you have a new beginning coming. Something new and exciting is coming. So if it's like a new job or maybe a new relationship, a new house, you have something new and something exciting. Something that you are literally going to love is coming into your life. You know what? We'll figure out what that is. I'm gonna actually pull from the tarot deck. Yeah, I don't get the idea that it's a baby. It's something. It's like a life changing. Whatever it is, it's life changing. I mean, babies are life-changing, but yeah, it's not a baby. I did not get baby from it. And that's a nice thing. Even though Lenormand has that stork card, and most of the time it does depict a stork with like a baby bundle, it's usually something new. Wow, okay. You know what it is? You have healing coming. I got the reverse 9 of Swords. And so it is healing. It is a new stage in your healing process. It's going to be very profound to bring you happiness. And when Bren's ready, he'll go ahead and expand upon that.
Wow. So, a Dark Goddess Oracle and Tarot. So, we'll go with the Dark Goddess first. Well, the Oracle is the lovely lady. Oh, hello, dear. And also the word equality, because why the heck not? Then Santisima Muerte for death. So,
yeah, wow.
So the new beginning is definitely going to be involving, well, was that the 9 of Swords?
It's the 9 of Swords in reverse. So it's definitely the end of something.
Yep, so I'm getting this. Okay, I'll let you speak then, miss. I'll let you speak then. You know, I think it's time that anything that's unjust and not fair to you, yeah, I think laying down and letting it happen, nah, we're not going to do that anymore. Why don't we just have that just stop? Why don't we just have you go, you know, I'm not going to roll with this no more. So this is changing. We're not doing this anymore. Why? Because I said so. That's why. Don't tell me no. That's how it's going to be. I didn't ask if you liked it or not. I said that's what it's going to be. Having that energy to stand up and really advocate for yourself and not giving no dangs about nothing.
And that's what the new is. It's the strength to have those boundaries, and it's the strength to be a survivor instead of a victim. Azriel, anything to add?
I love it. Both of those two cards, both of your readings together, make a picture, and the picture is like you're saying. The stork. As soon as I see the stork, I associate it with a goose that lays the golden eggs. The potentials and stuff like that. But as you mentioned, we know the stork is bringing something new. Whether it could be a baby is the first impression. But like you said, Alice or the individual is falling down the stairs, so she's upside down, and the fears and anxiety might not allow you to overcome those obstacles, but yet overcoming that anxiety that one might have, like you said, that stork, allows you to open up. In other words, you're freeing yourself from your anxiety and moving forward. And then that card that Brent brought out, which was the first one, the Oracle, is telling you the Oracle is the intuition, not only your intuition, but the intuition that is being followed. Like this reading, as an example, this reading here is opening you up to the possibilities that it's within you, that spiritual guidance of understanding and deciphering what is being resonated toward you when you felt life was shaken, because the anxiety of falling down the stairs and the new potential, like a new reborn of you. It's a new you manifesting, and anything and all that was unsettling in your life, meaning you felt like things are not going your way, but in actuality, they are, because the combination of all these four cards that were here, as you can see, you had the stork, you had the nine of swords right upside down. That was the nine of swords. You had the oracle, and then you had La Muerte. And that means your old ways are gone, your new ways are coming, but trust your intuition and pay attention. Pay attention not only to what's within you, but your surroundings. Be observant, because your surroundings are hinting in which direction you need to go. And this is a very powerful moment in your life where the renewal that you're feeling is giving you spiritual birth. I mean, spiritual growth. Because the story, it said birth, but it's really growth. So you're growing.
Yes, very, very beautiful. That was a beautiful reading. And it all ties together in a beautiful bow.
I agree, and it's beautiful. Like I said, I can envision them, even though the cards are down now. The way they came together is unbelievable.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Vicki. If anybody else would like a reading, it is Tuesday Tarot. We are doing one card readings. You can type general or type a specific question if you have a specific situation that you have a question to. So we are here pulling readings. Yes, they did link together very, very well. And I have done something similar to this with another reader, and we didn't have that intuitive connection. It does make a big difference when you're intuitively connected.
You know what I want to tell you, Rowan, too, and Bren, and those that are listening in, as you look at your cards, what was the initial discussion on this card tonight? What was the card that we were discussing?
The Justice card.
Which is, remember, pointing up and pointing down. The fear was the secondary card on both of you. The second card that you guys picked out was the Muerte and falling down the stairs, which was the Nine of Swords. But yet the solution, the answer, was the first card. You understand? So it was right there. You had the answer, and yet, you know what? It's allowing you this answer, the stork, is overcoming the anxiety. Now I'm forgetting the oracle, which is your intuition. These things that your vision is actually allowing you to overcome. Let's call it the unalignment, where you feel your life is stagnant. How do you overcome the stagnant? And trust your intuition; it will guide you. So it's there. It's right there.
Yes, it is. So we are doing one card readings. If anybody else who is here, I see we have quite a few people. If you would like a reading, please type general or your specific question. And last week we hit over, I think it was 12,000 hearts. Let's see if we can get Let's get some more hearts going. And thank you, everybody, for the gifts. Always appreciated, never expected. Oh, thank you so much, Vicki. Thank you. Thank you from Bren, Azriel, and I. Vicki says we're all awesome. So, I mean, I think so, but.
You know, I'm gonna add some. As many times that I come on these lives and I watch you guys do these polls, I'm at awe. I'm like, no freaking way. How are they doing this? Are they together in this room? It's so unbelievable. And I just want to say, both of you together, you have that magic. You have a genuine connection. And both together is authentic. And me as a testimony, as a witness, as a watcher, I can vouch that you guys are unbelievable, and thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Well, we're glad that you're here. I'm glad both of you are here. Yeah, it's an amazing connection. You don't get those connections a lot in life, and to be able for us, we are connected intuitively, like the divine is connecting us, and this is what happens. Like, as you spiritually grow, this is what happens. At least that's what my theory is. So while we wait for any more questions, if anybody else would like a tarot or an oracle card pulled, we do pull them intuitively. We'll stay pulling cards as long as there's questions coming in, but we will have on Sunday, we are doing the second part of Bren's book, Mix. So if you missed it, you can get it on my Patreon. And Thursday, we are doing the astrological sign Leo. So, and lives are 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, Tuesdays, and on Thursday. And welcome and hello, Jet. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, Vicki. Thank you, Lois. Yes, so free readings. We've got our cards. We're ready to pull. We're just waiting if anybody would like a reading. So you can type general if you want a general reading, or type a specific question.
Welcome in, no strings attached. And that's the thing about it. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. A general. Lois Moon Owl Balance would like a general. Okay. Ooh, I'm supposed to do this deck. Ooh, wow, Lois, I love this card. Oh, the light's hitting it weird. Be in your own power. I love this card. It's literally like, they are a bunch of flowers here. To me, it's like holding your heart and your energy in your hand. You literally hold all of the power and the energy in your hand to be able to do and accomplish anything and everything that you want to. I am going to pull a Lenormand card, because I'm also pulled to pull one for you. But Brent, I don't know if you've already pulled your card or if you're still shuffling.
Here we have one. Now we have one more.
Oh, okay. So I did pull a clarification card for you. So you are holding your own power, but you are on a journey. I'm really feeling it's a spiritual journey. And so, see, we have like this ship. This ship is traveling in the night. So you hold a lot of energy, you hold a lot of life. And this journey, I feel like you need to share something with somebody. Like there's something really special about you that needs to be shared. And that's what this journey really is sharing that part of yourself that shows you have that power. Go ahead, Bryn.
All right, so first card to come out, Galvanize.
Ooh.
You see, and in this depiction, you see the two figures down at the bottom, and then you see the one at the top, kind of like really strutting her stuff. That confidence right there, like bam! Come on, alley up, let's go. Then the other card that came out is the Quayon of Pyre, which is the Knight of Wands. So this is definitely really pointing out, like, get yourself out there and flaunt yourself. You got it. Flaunt it. Don't tell me no. No. Flaunt it. Nope. Flaunt it. Nope. Just flaunt it.
And I see your comment, Lois. No, the power is within you. This is why this card is there. You are very, very special. That's what we're getting. It's building.
A lot of bam with these two.
This one has a lot of energy. It probably has to do with the solar eclipse we have coming up.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's like that time for you to shine, girl. Shine. Azriel, any intuitive message that you need to add?
I'm trying to get this one here, but what I'm getting in, due to the ship that there's a lot of dark in there, but the dark is not to fear. Is um, might have been a phase of confusion because of the dark, the dark journey, dark spiritual journey. And basically, Brent's last card was that Nine of Wands, was it? The Nine of Wands, showing resilience, resilience and actually strength. So altogether with these cards, they're saying, even in the moments of darkness and not knowing, when I say darkness, is not knowing, those moments where you're asking yourself who you are, what you're going through, and so forth, you have to remain resilient because be your own self, which is that first card that Rowan picked, is true. You have to be you and authentic and genuine and understand to remind you that you are so unique and don't feel lost. Do not feel uncertain because even in moments of uncertainty, just like earlier, you don't need to negate your intuition and trust who you are and trust your journey because as you sail in darkness, it's taking you where you need to be. So you don't need to make any unnecessary judgment of where you're going. Just stay strong and you will actually reach your goals, reach where you need to be. In other words, like Brent said, or I think it was Rowan, flaunt it and take upon any challenge that's in front of you with just knowing. You know it. You've been here because you've been in the darkest of dark. Now you're in the light. And this light, you're navigating with the eyes. But you know what? You can go within and you've seen the darkness. And within that darkness, you made all the right decisions to take you where you need to go. So, it's a beautiful reading there, and I encourage you to take control of yourself, of your decisions. In other words, the main card, that first card is you. Lois, it's you. You are more powerful than you can believe. And when I say powerful, is you're in so much control of your positions. You don't need to defend yourself against nobody else. Just walk your walk and entrust it.
Brent, Lois had a question for you. Can Magpie be my raven from the astrology reading you gave me?
Yes. Definitely. Yes.
are so welcome. We're so
That
glad you
helps.
joined us
Yes.
tonight. Yes. Thank you, Lois. And just remember, like, especially when we look at the first card, the card that you own your power, because she's holding it in her hands. So we just need to expand it. So yeah, just be there. Ooh, how fun. They come in my yard and look at me in the eyes. Ooh, how fun. They've got messages for you. So thank you, everybody. We are doing 1-card readings. Well, so far they've been 2 cards. We've been very inspired tonight. So we are doing readings tonight. You might get a tarot, a Lenormand, or an oracle card. We're just going with our intuition. So please feel free, if you would like a reading, to please type general or a specific question in the comments, because we would love to give you a reading. And thank you to those who've given us gifts tonight. And thank you so much. We're at 2,000 hearts. So thank you for all of the hearts. We really appreciate that also.
And
Rowan, I got a question for you. Now, would
I was just
blind
gonna say,
fate define those last 4 cards? Blind fate? Entrust your blind fate?
You know, I think that it's hiding in the shadows. A lot of times we hide our authentic self and our shadow self in the dark. And we get nervous to come out. Okay, Bren will be right back. So we get really nervous sometimes to come back out into the light. And what's really interesting about those last 4 cards is we have a solar eclipse coming up. So it is the moon, the darkness, the moon is our light in the dark, who's trying to hide the sun. So that says a lot. Like that actually, it's the universe taking a special message too. And we'll see if Bryn joins us back when he's done with this call. So, but yes, like it's really super amazing how everything falls into place when it's supposed to. And when we're supposed to get that confidence and come out and say, okay, I am who I am, and I'm not going to let, anything that was negative affect me anymore. And it takes bravery and strength, just like I said, it's us saying, I'm not going to be a victim. I'm a survivor. It's coming out and having that strength. So welcome everybody. Thank you again for the hearts, and thank you so much for all of the gifts. We will do some more readings, and we'll see when Bren gets right back. But yes, if you would like a reading right now, I'll pull a card for you, and Azrael will help wrap some divine ribbon around it with his intuition. You're the bow on top, Azrael. Oh, talking to the husband more and more about spirituality. Yeah, spirituality is just so much different than religion. And I think like when I left an organized religious group, it was because I felt like I was lacking spirituality in that group. And welcome, Candace. You know what I'm talking about, girl, since we both left the same group.
Have the shiny bow. Yeah.
Yes, Azrael, you're our shiny bow. I know you wanted to be that tonight, right? Or the bells on.
Mine, yeah. The season, the Christmas season, I love it because of the gift wraps and all the decorative stuff. I love the shiny, my favorite color is that wine color red, with the gold trimming, so that's why I love that season because of that. But I really love the orange and the black and the purple of Halloween.
Yes. I know. I'm just like so glad I can I'm actually making a table runner for Halloween. So, cause I want to like decorate my house. So I am doing one for fall too. So it's almost done.
Cornucopia for the fall, or
Now well, I'll grab it. It's right behind me. It's really big. So I don't have my pumpkin on it yet, but I'm putting a pumpkin and an acorn on it. So there will be a big pumpkin.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I love
So
it. Got the leaves changing color.
yeah. So I'm gonna put a pumpkin and an acorn on it, and then it will decorate our table until my Halloween one is purple, blue, orange, and black, and I'm gonna be putting a raven on it. So gotta have the raven at Halloween, you know. Tribute to blackbirds and their beautiful messages, and Edgar Allan Poe. I mean, who doesn't love Poe? All right. Anybody else want a tarot pull or an oracle card for tonight? I will intuitively pick it. Oh, thank you, Lois. Yes, I will. When they're done, I'll hold them up. I actually plan on getting a picture, and I'll post the picture of them. So I'm having just a lot of fun. It's fun to quilt and make things. So
Like what, 30 pieces? About 30 pieces together?
well, with the border, yeah, like there's 30 squares in there, so 3 rows of 10. And then, so when I cut my pumpkin out, the pumpkin has a couple pieces because I've cut leaves out for it, and then the stem, and then the pumpkin, and then the acorn's got 2 parts too. So
I got a good height, you know. I think it's the Virgo in me that it is keen to details. I observe the details.
yeah, yeah. I'm for winter when winter hits because we get hit with snow here. So I know I'm not going to be going out much then. I'm probably not going to go for my walks to visit my neighbors. My neighbors are the buffalo and the elk and the moose and the deer. Sometimes I do randomly go live when I'm on my walks. It depends on how charged my phone is. But yes, I will be working on a buffalo quilt that's very intricate. But yeah, well, I should say bison because it's properly bison. I know we say buffalo, but it is bison. Yeah, they're just so beautiful. I'll just sit there when I get to visit them. I'll sit there and watch them. It's very very interesting, and it's neat to watch their behavior because just like humans, just like if you have like a four-legged baby, or I have a feather baby, every living thing has a personality. So it is really fun to sit and watch this bison herd, because they all have like a distinct personality. Like I can tell who the alpha female is and the alpha male, and boy, the alpha male, it's funny because I'm pretty sure this one adolescent is his offspring, but this one adolescent, you can tell, just really admires him, and he wants nothing to do with anybody being around him. Like that, you're not supposed to get close to him. It's really fun to watch. But yes, it is fun to watch and when we have that opportunity to see them. So, all right, it looks like we don't have any more questions for tonight, and since Bryn didn't make it back yet, I'm sure he's on a longer call than expected. We will wrap up for tonight. So Azrael, any last messages or any goodbye that you'd like to share before we wrap up for tonight?
No, it was a pleasure to be here, and partake in this Tarot Tuesday. I just wish more individuals were coming through, but you have to have an open mind to understand that a lot of people are finding themselves doing lives. So you got a lot of lives, throughout the whole community. And just like anything else, it's not about the quantity, meaning uh, the many. It's the few that are here that this is actually meant for, because it's quality. You're getting quality here. You're not getting watered down tarot readings. These are beautiful manifestations, and I myself am witnessing, and those that are here as well are witnessing something that is very unique and beautiful. And it was entertaining, and yet at awe. I don't know how to say the awe. What would awe say enlightening. It was very entertaining and enlightening. I thank you, Rowan, so much. And Brent, I hope you can hear me. Much love and gratitude for both of you and those that came in the comments and asked for a reading. This is a great place to be. And thank you again, Rowan.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining, Azrael. And I just so enjoy having Bren and Azrael here every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. I am live at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, again on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursdays. So next week, we will be doing the Hanged Man card. So that's usually about 30 minutes to an hour. And then we do tarot readings as long as we get questions coming in. So please feel free, if you want a question next week, to come back next week with a question, and I will love to do a reading for you. As always, merry meet, merry part, bright blessings, and namaste.